like, I've never done a speech before, so you are going to have to bear with me. I'm bringing it down, so yeah. Bear with me a second, guys. If you're going to quote anybody at the beginning of your first speech, it might as well be an actual king. Elvis nailed it when he said, "The truth is like the sun. You can shut out for a time, but it ain't going away." It defines us as a nation, as patriots, as people. Truth defines our beliefs, our culture, and our way of life. The truth matters now more than ever. Our beautiful country seems to be paralysed by lies and deception. There's corruption, manipulation, coercion, and warped agendas everywhere we look. Worse still, those committed to speaking out for the truth are always vilified by the Marxist left, the hard left, the violent left, the people who want to destroy the United Kingdom. I grew up in the southeast coast. I've lived in the Folkestone and Dover area all of my life. I'm a regular bloke, just a normal guy, proud father, patriot. A few years ago, around my area, people started noticing dinghies landing on our beaches packed with unknown men. Locals at the time joked that we were being invaded. It sounded ridiculous, but curiosity got the better of me, so I went to see for myself. You probably know the rest of the story, and yes, it is ridiculous. Without the video evidence I captured, people still wouldn't believe me to this day that it's happening. But it's the truth. It's the whole truth. We are literally being invaded. There is no other word for it. I've witnessed an endless stream of fighting-age men landing on our shores. Sure, there's the occasional mother and child, but it's 90% men. 90% of those men are fighting-age men. 90% of those fighting-age men are Muslim. This is the truth. There is no doubt in my mind that the Home Office are involved in this. Despite Patel's claims that she wants to stop this, she has no intention of stopping it whatsoever. The truth is that all we get from her are empty promise after empty promise, time and time again. The virtual signalling RNLI are out all hours of the day, heading to the middle of the channel to escort illegal immigrants into the UK. They are actively looking for them to pick up. It's a fact that the government are consistently upgrading the facilities at Dover, only recently spending £2 million on a new facility to process the illegal immigrants when they come into the UK. Border force vessels are in and out all day and all night. It never stops, it's a business. The fat cats at Circa are rubbing their hands with glee. Their CEO, the dishonourable Rupert Christopher Soames, the grandson of the great Winston Churchill, is the CEO of the business. Not content with being in charge of the world's most aggressive COVID-19 testing programme, Serco benefit directly from the world's most luxurious taxi business. They facilitate anybody of any background, with any intent from any country that wants to come here. In 2020, Soames was rewarded £5 million for quite literally undermining everything Churchill stood for. So how are we doing in 2021? So far this year, we've seen more than 750 dinghies, over 20,000 illegal immigrants that we know about, all of them chauffeur driven away in coaches, all given a fabulous 3- and 4-star hotel rooms, all given money to spend, all given vouchers for clothing, they're all given mobile phones, all at your expense. But we haven't seen a single deportation, not one repatriation. I've spoken to hundreds of onlookers, locals, ordinary people, members of the British public. They all say the same thing: we do not feel safe. It's not just the government. The mainstream media are complicit too. I've seen film crews from all of the mainstream media sit around with their cameras whilst boatload after boatload of young fighting-age men come into the country. The moment a woman or child is spotted, it's lights, camera action, and you can guarantee which picture will be in the front page of the newspaper the next morning. No matter how you dress it up, the mainstream media are lying to the public. But it doesn't stop there. There is an entire industry that is booming as a result of the Channel invasion. You already know about the hotels, the coach trips, the food passes, the cash allowances, the clothing vouchers. But you may not be aware about the free pizzas, the yoga classes, the free trips to football stadiums, free medical care, free laptops, free private education. These are luxuries that the British public can only dream about. Local to me now is the most infamous Napier Barracks. They contracted a local kebab shop to give them the temporary guests with free takeaways. I know it's only a small detail, but when I inquired to the government about minute details on this, they went above and beyond to keep this hidden. I've witnessed it all, and it gets worse. The far left activists are benefiting too. Huge amounts of funding are given to them unwittingly by the British taxpayer. Millions are being siphoned off by Marxist organisations masquerading as actual charities. One example of this would be Care for Calais. Their founder, Claire Mosley, had at least one affair that we know about with an actual illegal immigrant named Mohammed Bashir. Another charity that employs the activists who engaged in the blood in your hands stunt outside Napier Barrows, which the very next day instigated the illegal immigrants to riot, trash the facilities and ultimately burn down one of the buildings. That's not all. Their associates regularly communicate with illegal immigrants in dinghies by mobile phones and participate in covert night operations at the beach using laser pens to direct the boats to the quieter landing spots so they can flee into the country. It seems to me that the fail-safe formula for a charity that wants to help destroy our nation is simply call yourself one thing and then do the exact opposite. Hope Not Hate are a perfect example of this. When I sit back and think about everything I've learned and uncovered over the past 2 years, there is only one same conclusion I can come to. It's horrifying and I'm not a comfortable for. The government and the media actually want this. They believe in this. I know the Channel invasion isn't the only threat for Britain right now. I appreciate people are equally worried about other things: COVID, wokeism, Marxism, fake news, the Islamification of our nation, Sharia courts, MP murders, and of course we'll never forget about our homeless veterans and pensioners. But illegal immigration is something I feel qualified to address, and I hope my speech today will help wake voters up to this life-changing, culture-changing problem. For me, the big question is this: if the government are prepared to go to these great lengths to hush this matter up, what else are they lying about in everyday life? I mean, if they were resort to discrediting, harassing, serving injunctions, and arresting a painting decorator with a mobile phone, there must be something bigger at stake. So I leave you with this. I believe the next election won't be decided by the left or the right. It will be a straight fight between patriotism and treachery, patriots and traitors, the truth and the lies. Like the King himself says, it's now or never. Thank you.